Hello everybody, and today I'll be going through how you can prepare for Jekyll and Hyde in your English Literature GCSE. In this video, I'll be going through resources which you can use for your Jekyll and Hyde revision. These are the ones which I had, and we'll take a closer look at them individually. This is a list of each of the resources. If you want, you can pause and look at them. We'll be taking a closer look at each of them individually afterwards. Obviously, if you're going to study a novel, you need to have first read it. So your most important resource, which you should take good care of, is your own copy of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. If your school lends you a copy, which you aren't allowed to write on, then I highly recommend that you buy your own so that you can annotate it, which makes it easier to find key quotes when you reread the novel later on. Simply annotating the book isn't enough, as you are unlikely to be reading through the novel an hour or 2 hours before your exam. So for this, you should compile all of your key quotes and key points into your own notes, as you can see on the right hand side. It may look very thick, and that is because on top of notes I have also got numerous practice questions and practice answers filed away as well. One of the most valuable resources you have is what your school gives you, not only in lessons but also on your school website or Office 365 if your school uses that. Your English teachers would have put numerous resources for you to absorb and print off and compile into your own notes. This is the Snap Revision Guide. It provides a brief summary of each chapter, along with summaries for the characters and the key themes in the novel. It also contains a timeline and context points for the Victorian times. With each summary page, the next page provides a few basic knowledge questions, along with some key quotes about the chapter or specific character, which you can go through to quickly learn before your exam. I highly recommend this Snap Revision Guide, as it's very short, only 80 pages long at about an A5 size, and it has all the key points and quotes condensed, which is very good for exam preparation just before your exam. This is the Hodder Education Jekyll and Hyde Revision Guide, which provides a plot summary along with the context points, key themes, and character analysis. It also gives some key quotes to learn with a brief analysis of each one. Though this revision guide does provide an alternate perspective on the book, I feel that it's not as detailed as the other resources. The key quotes in the end are helpful, however you can find similar lists for free online. Understanding R.L. Stevenson's Jekyll and Hyde is a very, very detailed resource with an in-depth analysis of each chapter and character, along with numerous context points and a bank of key quotes to learn, which is why I highly recommend this book, as it is one of the most detailed revision guides out there for Jekyll and Hyde. Cliff's notes on Stevenson's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is another excellent resource, which gives a short biography of Robert Louis Stevenson and provides a detailed summary of each chapter, the novel as a whole, along with each of the characters. In addition, it also has review questions at the end to test your knowledge and exam technique for the later questions, which is why I recommend this book. York Notes on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which was published in 1998. It provides an in-depth analysis of each chapter with quick summaries in the margin, so it is useful for both long-term revision and quick revision just before your exam. In addition, it integrates questions and provides the answers at the end in order for you to test your knowledge on the novel and also have some exam practice. Again, this is a revision guide which I'd highly recommend. The Oxford Literature Companions Jekyll and Hyde workbook. This is a approximately 80-page long workbook, which provides questions which are more based on checking your knowledge than proper exam technique, which is why I wouldn't recommend this workbook, as you can find better practice questions online or at the end of other resources. The CGP revision guide for Jekyll and Hyde is an excellent resource, as it has the entire plot condensed, along with all of the key points and key quotes highlighted. In addition, it also has a short comic representation of the plot in the final 2 pages in order for incredibly quick revision of the entire plot, which is why I highly recommend that you get this revision guide. And this is the York Notes Jekyll and Hyde workbook. Again, this workbook is more focused on checking your knowledge of the novel and characters rather than your exam technique for the final essay. However, there are some exam-style questions near the end, which is why I would recommend you get this book for additional exam preparation. This is the Cambridge Jekyll and Hyde revision guide. I highly recommend this book, as not only does it provide a plot summary with the key themes, context points, and characters, it also has some very good points near the end on exam technique, such as planning your answer, remembering quotes, and finally writing your complete essay. This is the 9-to-1 GCSE revision notes for R.L. Stevenson's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This book provides a page-by-page analysis of the entire book with key quotes embedded. There are some incredibly good points from this book which you can learn and write down in your own exam. In addition, near the end of the book, it provides some easy to learn tips for the exam, such as how you can structure your answer, and a variety of words you can use to compare and contrast different points, which is why I would recommend this resource. This is the GCSE 9-to-1 English Language and Literature AQA revision and exam practice book. It is a very thick book, which is half on English language and half on English literature. For Jekyll and Hyde, it does have a short section with a couple of sample answers, or parts of sample answers for the Jekyll and Hyde book. I highly recommend that you get this book, as it's not only useful for your English literature exam, but also for your English language exam. The sample answers it provides may be for other novels, however you can use their structure and formatting in your own answer. Mr. Bruff is a growing YouTube channel with over 1,000 videos on English revision. He has numerous videos covering Jekyll and Hyde, with not only plot summaries but also character analysis videos and some sample exam answers sent by students. In addition, prior to the exam, he is likely to put out a video for some last-minute revision before your exam, discussing key themes, characters, and even possible questions based on previous year's exams. I highly recommend that you check out his YouTube channel. Mr. Salles Teaches English is another growing YouTube channel with just under 1,000 videos. Again, he covers Jekyll and Hyde with plot summaries, character analysis videos, and sample exam answers. So just another resource for you to use to just listen to or watch in your spare time. Near exam time, he does also provide predictions for the questions that are likely to come up, which can help you narrow your focus to certain key themes or characters. I also highly recommend that you watch his videos when revising for Jekyll and Hyde. As always, Seneca never fails to keep on giving with the number of revision topics that it has. Of course, it has a section for Jekyll and Hyde, providing a plot summary, character summaries, some context points, and some exam-style practice. Not only does it provide these summaries, but also tests your knowledge on key quotes, getting you to fill in some certain words, which allows you to help remember the quotes for the exam. I highly recommend that you use Seneca, as it's a free revision resource. The question for Jekyll and Hyde will be found in section B of your literature paper 1. The question will be worth a total of 30 marks, which is broken down into 12 marks for AO1, which is your understanding of the book and use of quotations, 12 marks for AO2, which is language analysis, and 6 marks for AO3, which is how you link the novel to its context. I will now show you some sample questions, which you can feel free to answer in your own time. Feel free to pause the video if you want to look at this question, and then press play to go on. There are another 3 questions. This is the second question. Again, feel free to pause. The third question. And the final exam question. Here is the list of resources that I had available to me on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side there are additional columns in which I filled in the dates that I revised from that resource before the exam. If you do something similar with your resources, you can see which ones you've gone through numerous times and which ones that you should go through to get a better grasp overall on the novel. If you want additional resources for practice questions or for revision purposes, then here are some websites which you can use. Pictured on the bottom left is Physics and Maths User, which, despite the misleading name, also covers English. And on the right hand side, freeexampapers.com, which has an English literature section, which covers most GCSE exam boards and has numerous past papers, even from the old specification. The other 2 links, BBC Bitesize and SparkNotes, will be in the description for you to check out. In summary, when you're doing practice questions, the key points that you should always have in is context, so what life was like in Victorian times, language analysis in the novel, or of the novel, and numerous quotes which you can analyze deeply and link to other key moments in the novel. As always, you should always check the mark scheme so that you know what the examiner expects from your answer. Thank you for watching this video, and I wish you luck in your GCSEs.